Hey, what's up guys, this is Trav back again with another one for you guys. I am excited today because it is officially, it's past it now. I'm a little late on this, but I had to crank it out for you guys because I promised you this and I like to stick to my promises if I can. It has been 4 years since my very first food review on YouTube. I don't know why it was on Nutella after I had already tried it before that video. Makes no sense. But I still did the video, and here I am today, 4 years later. It has flown, guys. Like, it is insanity. I cannot believe I have been on YouTube for 4 years. It's not that big of a number, but it has been a long stretch. Time is flying. So I did a video called Anniversary Announcement where I asked you guys in the comments to leave your questions for a 4-year anniversary question and answer video, and here it is for you guys. This is gonna be awesome. You guys left some amazing questions. I didn't answer or reply to any of them until, I made this video. I wanted it to be a kind of react to your questions. I kind of briefly looked at them, but didn't really seriously read them. But those of you that told me you left questions, I did. If I told you that you left some good questions, then I did read them prior to this. But I'm gonna answer them for you today, guys. Let's do this. This guy's been a subscriber to me probably since day one, and that is Captain Akron 27. He writes, "What's your top favorite video from your catalog of reviews and things?" Wow. To be very honest, probably my favorite video I've ever done is in recent memory. When I pranked you guys on April 1st, that video was so freaking much fun to make. Like, me and Ryan, we had way too much fun filming that, editing it, totally pranking you guys like I was gonna totally ditch YouTube forever. That was fantastic, and every time I rewatch it, I cannot help but to it is just amazing. Like, our humor, me and his humor, our style of humor is written all up in that video. And I'm looking to kind of, bring more videos like that in the future, but just more on, not a pranking level, but more on just for comedy's sake. But I really enjoyed that video. Anything else, really, it'd probably just be something that I really, really liked when I reviewed it. If I gave something a 10 out of 10, most likely I had a lot of fun filming that and editing it. So, yeah. I hope I could pronounce your name right. Jalmarification says, "How old are you? I know it's a weird question, but you look like you could be 14 or 24, haha." Give me a second. The irony to the question is that I'm turning 24 this year. Unbelievable, honestly. I can't believe I'm already that old. But August 4th, I'll be turning 24, and yeah, so you pretty much hit the nail on the head besides the 14 part. I do understand where you're coming from. I have a very young look, and I always have. I've always never really looked at my age. But most of the time people guess, maybe a few years ago, people would guess that I'm, 14, 15, whatever, when I was 18. And now people are hitting it right on the money. Oh, you're probably in your early 20s, right? And I'm like, yeah. So I'm kind of getting used to people actually being able to guess my age right. But back in the day, I had the worst problems. Are you 13? It's dude, I just freaking started driving and I'm 17. Just, stuff like that. It's just whatever. But that's just my look. I've changed, but I will always look young. That one guy, that's literally his name on this, and he's a good friend of mine too. That one guy asks, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for the Assassin's Creed movie? Man after my own heart. What are your apocalypse plans? Well, I'll answer the first one first, obviously. Assassin's Creed, I am super pumped for that film. I'll leave a card for the reaction that me and Ryan did on the Assassin's Creed teaser trailer, the film. I'm a huge fan of the games. I have replayed, I think, all of them at least twice, and I think most of the Ezio, ones with Ezio, the Ezio trilogy, multiple times, and, well, and the first one. Pretty much all of them, multiple times. I actually just recently beat Black Flag on new gen Xbox One because I hadn't played it on the newer consoles yet. So, yeah, none of you other people know what I'm talking about, but I am super excited for Assassin's Creed. Michael Fassbender has something special, really, for this, even though, like, he quoted, like, I don't even know what Assassin's Creed is, like, how do I play that? Like, he's an actor that is gonna serve the movie, and I believe he's gonna do it right. Like, man, that leap of faith in the trailer gave me chills, so if it gave me chills, I'm excited. I love the games, and I'm excited for the movie, but please, Ubisoft, please, do it right. This is, like, my franchise, pretty much. Like, don't mess this up. And what are my apocalypse plans? Well, that's a good question. I'm just gonna assume you're talking about a zombie apocalypse, because honestly, that's probably the only kind of apocalypse I would want to deal with, because if it was like human versus human, that'd probably be a little easier, but honestly not really, because not Walking Dead, it's like they walk really slowly, so if I can learn how to kill, I can learn how to shoot, I could band a lot of friends together and build pull like a Fallout, if you know what I'm talking about, where you basically build your own city and just chill and be happy. Have your own source of electricity, and there you go. And possibly reproduce the earth. The Endorsement, a good friend of mine and a fellow food reviewer. If you have not checked out The Endorsement, definitely go check him out. He's doing an amazing job over there on his food reviews. I'll put the link in the description, and I'll also put one of his videos in a card. He asks, if you could review one place that is not in your state, what would you want to review? We, as Arkansans, we do have a Five Guys Burgers and Flies. But, yes, I said flies. But, I have never been there. Out of my state, probably Chipotle. I have yet to try Chipotle, and I have yet to see one. I don't even know if we have one in the state. I have not researched it. If I was ever out of state and I saw Chipotle, or really anything that I haven't, like, tried yet or put on the channel, then I'm gonna go for it. I mean, like, if I took a vacation and I grabbed the opportunity, I had my camera with me, all that good stuff, if I planned it out, yeah, I would review pretty much anything that's out of state, because it's not in my state and it's my one chance to do it. That way I could go back on my videos and I will always have that video in there that I have tried that place. Not everything on the menu, obviously, because I try one thing at a time on the menu. So, I don't know, but Chipotle, I've heard, isn't as good as everyone, like my friend Blues is like, it's underrated, man, don't even worry about it. So, but would I try one if I found one? Yes. He also asked, if you could watch one movie for the rest of your life, what would it be? Wow, I would not want to do that, because I'm all about variety, and I love all different kinds of things. Sitting on one movie forever, if I was, like, trapped somewhere and I was just forced to watch this one movie over and over for my entertainment and to pass the time, The Endorsement knows him and I share a love for The Shawshank Redemption. That movie is fantastic from start to finish. Like, there's not one part or one thing I do not like about it. So, would I watch The Shawshank for the rest of my life? Maybe. But there's a lot of good movies. Like, you're giving me a trip here with this question. I am having and had the hardest time and still don't have an answer for you. Honestly, like, My Cousin Vinny comes so close because it is so fantastic of a film. Like, I don't like it better than Shawshank, but when it comes to, like, that comedy, like, and also sort of drama, like, crime film, I don't know, man. Like, My Cousin Vinny and Shawshank and a bunch of other movies like those are, like, the films, like, the more you watch them, the smarter you get about the film, or you notice more. I've done that with Shawshank probably every single time. Like, every time I watch it, I notice something new or different about it, and I like it more and more. I just can't not like it. The Incredibles comes very close, because I'm thinking, like, if I'm gonna watch something for the rest of my life, it's gonna be something that, like, I have watched over and over and over and cannot I enjoy it so much. The Incredibles has that perfect, it's an animated film, it has that twist of like comedy, but it's also got this fantastic story that is probably one of the most relatable animated films of all time. It really is. Like, it's got family issues, it's got drama, it's got it all. It's got even the wife thinking the husband's cheated, like that's in an animated movie. And, you know, like, it's just, like, it's so good. So, honestly, I can't pick, dude. Like, I cannot pick between any of these. I've got, like, a stack of movies that I love so much. So, there's some movies to give you a general idea. You'll know why I'm over here in just a second. Stuff and Things asks, what's the time poster in most of your videos? There it is. Alright, so hear me out. I am not a fan of Call of Duty anymore. As a matter of fact, I have fell completely off the map with the new Call of Duty games. Battlefield? That's good. I'm excited for Battlefield 1. But anyway, time poster, yes, that was the question. Stay on track, Trev. Back when Modern Warfare 3 came out, if you pre-ordered it, you get the poster with it. And that poster to me is so unique that I've just had it on my wall ever since. Like, I love it. There's been a lot of posters that do... I mean, honestly, I've rarely seen it, honestly, is what I'm trying to say. Like, the Time magazine poster, but everything on it is fiction. It's got, like, a city that's been destroyed and everything, and it's about war. It sounds, like, really, really negative to have on your wall, but honestly, like, it's just so unique that I've kept it. And I honestly used to have it flipped. It's a double-sided poster. It has the cover of Modern Warfare 3, the game. You can Google it. Modern Warfare 3 on the front, and then that's on the back. So I had to put the Time side where it's seen because I just love it. Would I take that down and replace it with something one day? Probably, but I just love that. I may one day frame it and just keep it around, but I love it. My good buddy Jason Callan has left the most questions of any man has probably ever left for a Q&A video. I'm not joking. This is a huge list. He says, I had some questions, some silly, some serious. Kinda. Number 1, what would you ever call your channel? The Travy Wavy Show. Should I even have to answer that one? I see you brought back burp time, quote unquote. Ever think of incorporating fart time? Jason, honestly, burps involve food. So do farts, but problem is, if I was to do that on camera, which I probably have at some point, it's going to be cut out. I'm never going to incorporate any joke towards that because, number 1, I hate fart jokes. Let that simmer for a second. I am not the type to, like, take anything like that. Besides the burp joke, anything like that, there would just be no point. And how cool is it working with Greg? Greg is one of the nicest and most fantastic gentlemen I have ever met. Whenever he came over to do that Little Caesars review with me, it was just a heck of a time. We had so much fun. Like, honestly, most of the review was like turning the camera off and just talking for like a whole 10 minutes, and then we'd go for another cut and film some more. It was not really about the review. We met up and we finally got to meet. We found out we live very close. And so we had to collab, guys. So yes, Mr. Happy 0121 is who he's talking about. I'll put a little link right here to one of their videos. Go check them out if you haven't. Greg from Mr. Happy is one of the nicest guys on the planet. Like, he is a great friend. He's given me like channel tips and stuff like that, you know, no one else would really do. So he is one really awesome guy. Who would win these fights? Godzilla versus Hulk? Godzilla vs. Gamera, Godzilla vs. King Kong. Well, supposedly we're still getting the King Kong vs. Godzilla remake, which is Legendary's new Godzilla from Godzilla 2014. If anyone saw that, that universe is getting a Kong vs. Godzilla. Next year we're getting, or actually, yeah, next year we're getting the new King Kong reboot film, and then they're gonna clash. So we will wait on that to find out who wins, which honestly, I mean, Godzilla, I mean, come on. Versus the Hulk, That's no competition. Godzilla has atomic breath. It's no competition. Hulk is extremely powerful, I'll give him that. I actually think that he could handle Superman pretty well. I still think he would lose, but Godzilla, up to the big G. I think Godzilla vs. Gamera would be a very close match. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about Gamera, but what I do know of him, that he would give Godzilla a hard time. I don't really know. Hopefully one day we'll get a film like that. I really doubt it, and honestly I wouldn't be jumping up and down for it. I know others would be, but I'm just one of the... I'm extremely picky when it comes to my monster films. Like, I don't want them all my way, you know what I mean? But, like, I just... Like, I have a vision for all this stuff, like, and just certain stuff doesn't excite me as much as other things. But King Kong vs. Godzilla finally is happening. I've been excited about that ever since it's been announced, and possibly before. I've dreamed about this kind of stuff. How long have you known Ryan and Epic Phil? I love that you still called him Epic Phil because that's his Facebook name. And, well, and his YouTube name, but he doesn't actually have a channel. Phil, man, that's been like... since freaking middle school I've known that dude. But I've known Ryan even longer. We grew up together, and me and Ryan, it's like 12 or 13 years at least. So, our whole lives, and definitely our entire adult lives, so far, we've hung out. What are some places that are not in an area that you would like to do reviews? Like I said to the endorsement earlier, that it would, like Chipotle, Five Guys I want to still go back to, and honestly, Dunkin' Donuts I would still want to try officially, like, because I've never been to one, and we don't have one. So we might get one. I wouldn't be surprised if we get one eventually. So, yeah, Dunkin' Donuts, places like that. It doesn't really matter. Anything new, I'm for. There are so many food reviewers out there. What makes you different? Yeah, we are a huge community, and it could become very, very easy to copy or get inspiration. You may not even be meaning to copy somebody, but you may get inspiration from them. Honestly, a lot of my favorite YouTubers is where my inspiration comes from. My style, my whatever. I'm not the funniest guy on the planet, and I don't strive to be. I don't make my videos to be funny. Have I had kind of like some funny skits here and there? Yeah. You know, I try to bring comedy to it, but also just sticking just to the review, really, you know, close to home, just talking about what I'm reviewing. Honestly, like, it's just me. Like, what makes me different is my personality, just the way I am, because I'm not other people. That's all I could really say about that, realistically, is, you know, I just have my own style. Do I get inspiration and kind of mix in a little bit of that? Of course, everybody does it. The more videos and YouTubers you watch, the more you'll become like them. Not really meaning to, but you just kind of get inspiration. So that's me. I am built on a lot of different inspirations, but I'm still me, and I will always keep my own style and try to just bring good content to you guys in my own way. And that's that. Who are your favorite food reviewers and YouTube channels? I'm only going to list the food reviewers and YouTube channels. I'll start with the food reviewers first, but I'm only going to list the stuff I actually watch on a constant basis, or actually rather, not every time they put up a new video, but I try to keep up with them on a consistent basis. Like, their new uploads, I'm most likely getting the gist, and because I don't watch every single video that comes out that is your video, but food reviewers are Jason Callan. You, like, have your own style. I mean, that's honestly, like, you know, like, no one else is like you. Like, how you ask me, you know, how am I different? I can tell you how you're different. You are a very different man, sir, in the best way possible. Like, you know, you're a really, really kind, you're a really awesome guy, and you have just kind of like your own... It's almost like you bring your life to your food reviews, if I could say it like that. It's like you vlog without vlogging. That's probably the best way I could describe Jason Callan, which I'm not here to describe Jason Callan, but I had to give him a shout out because this is his paragraph of questions. The endorsement, peep this out, Food Central TV, Mr. Happy 0121, Happy Man Snacks, and Joey's World Tour. Those are all my favorite food reviewers on the planet, and if I left any of you out, you're most likely still a favorite. I just can't think of you right now because I'm having to think of all these questions. And YouTube channels other than food reviews that I do watch on a consistent basis. You'd be probably really surprised, but I am a huge fan of vloggers. I love vlogging. I love, like, you know, just putting somebody's life on camera and what they do to document it, and it's just crazy. Mainly, first and foremost, Press Record. They're fantastic. I love them. Like Mike and Brittany, they make probably some of the best vlogs there is. Dose of Fousey, or as known as FouseyTube, he has two channels, FouseyTube and Dose of Fousey. Dose of Fousey is his vlog channel, and honestly, I have found myself binging a lot of his older vlogs just because, like, this dude went from, like, being super depressed to, like, he's gonna be in his own movie this year, and I just find that extremely inspirational. He always is willing to give advice to his audience, but because of self-experience that he's dealing with, sadness, or trials that he goes through, he pretty much puts it all on camera. He's not shy about it. He'll talk about it, and he's super, super inspirational. Like, I look up to that guy, and I'll watch the occasional one from Jacksepticeye, Markiplier. Let's not forget, Dang Matt Smith is probably the funniest dude on YouTube. If you haven't checked him out, just go check him out. Let's not forget Life of Dustin. Dustin is one of my good friends. He created a vlog channel. I'll put a card to one of his vlogs right here. You can go watch that, check him out, give him support, go subscribe because he deserves it, and he's a really awesome guy. His vlogs are going to take him places, I feel like, and I cannot wait to see where he's going with it, and he's just a really cool guy, and I watch every single one that he drops, so go check him out. I will tell you up front, I thought this item was completely gross, but if you had a chance, would you review ranch dressing soda? I already know it would be nasty. It just sounds nasty. I'm not even like a big ranch dressing fan in general, so the actual soda, it would have to add some stuff. They'd have to really tweak it, and it wouldn't be right of them, because if they want to do it right, they would make it taste like ranch dressing. But that doesn't sound good whatsoever. What are some superhero movies you thought were completely stink-a-rooney, as a matter of fact? Honestly, I'm not even going to name a few. I'm just going to put the crap on one specific superhero film that is the worst, if not one of the worst films of all time. Batman and Robin. I would never watch that movie ever again for the rest of my life. It's just never gonna happen. What are some of your favorite 80s arcade games? Honestly, Jason, I can't answer that. I'm sure there's a lot of great 80s arcade games out there, but I did not grow up in the 80s, and I have never honestly gone out of my way to touch an 80s game. Yes, all you old people are screaming at the screen, but I grew up in the 90s because I'm only 23, so, you know, games like, you know, on the Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo even, I can go all the way back there and say I've played some games, PlayStation 1, all that. I was a 90s kid, dude. So, that wraps up this 4-year anniversary Q&A. Is it as epic as I thought it would be? Not really, because honestly, I would have preferred to get more questions, but actually after answering all of Jason's questions, I'm actually kind of happy it's over. But Jason's awesome. He actually went all the way out to think of these questions for a long time. Like, he kept updating me, like, dude, like, I got more questions for you later, I promise I'll get to it, yada yada, and then he gave me, like, however many that was, like 15. So, yeah, that was plenty of questions, and you guys got a lot of answers for me. Anything you want to ask me personally, I have Facebook. I always leave my Facebook link. You can message me on Facebook. I am a very laid-back guy. You can come talk to me. You don't have to leave comments on YouTube videos. I actually do socialize with people other than YouTubers or people in my comment section. I actually am a human that speaks. Real quick, I would like to thank Connor from Food Central TV for putting me in his favorite food reviewers list. I'll put that video right here for you guys to enjoy. I'm in there, and it made me so happy, and I'm sure that's where most of you came from. I'm sure that's where all these recent subscribers came from. So whether you're from that video or not, or from his channel, thank you so much for subscribing. Like, it means a lot, guys. This is my 4-year anniversary video, and you know, here's to the next 4 years, guys. Just, you know, if you have a channel or if you don't, enjoy yourself. Drink a Mountain Dew. Live life.